Everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I call upon my spirit team, my guides, angels, ancestors, and source to illuminate the truth. May my words be guided, my heart be open, and my ego set aside. With clarity, integrity, and pure intention, let the message unfold through me. Today, I send special love and light to all those who are misunderstood, the outcasts, the ones who walk between worlds, the misjudged. You're not forgotten. You're sacred. Let's begin. Goodness, guys. Okay. I have been getting open up. Basically, it's gotten stronger since I started this channel. Of course, no surprise, right? I feel it on a collective level. I mean, oh, right? But I've been hearing a lot, getting a lot of downloads, feeling a lot of things. So I'm sure you are too. Anyhow, I am being called to talk about what I believe is a very controversial topic. If you're here for a reason, and I'm guessing you're probably here for it, right? You're here for controversial topics, you're here for the hard work, et cetera, right? And I don't doubt that. Now, if you're here at the end of this video, then that's something. So this is gonna resonate with I mean hopefully all of you, right? But I'm gonna guess it's gonna be a little more specific. There's gonna be a lot of general information that would be great, I think, for everyone to know, but again, the messages from source, downloads from source, but I'm also going to share a little bit of my own personal story throughout it. Um, so, take it as it resonates. Someone needs to hear it. Um, so, I'm going to be talking about darkness, evil, the devil, those things today. Mm. All right, so short version. I don't have a script for this, so short version of my interesting journey when it comes to spirituality, religion, etc. is I wasn't really raised with religion per se. My mother's side was um, Roman Catholic, um, pretty strict, but my mother was non-practicing and my father's side were Southern Baptist. My father also non-practicing. um, but my grandmother, although I mean, she wasn't going to church all the time and religious in that sense, but she was what I would call spiritual, and she identified as being Southern Baptist, so Christian. Anyhow, I explored a lot when it came to religion, in different churches, even as a child and as a teenager. If a friend or neighbor, etc., told me about it, I wanted to know, and I was there, and so just just about anyone that I came into contact with that wanted to talk about anything like that, I was there for it. So always very curious. Always, I mean, there was something, I just didn't know. But anyway, I remember one day sitting, I think it was a doctor's office or something, and I asked my dad, and my dad was probably like the least religious person I had met at the time. Very, very, karmic way of living, I'll say. So, and point being, uh, I didn't know what to expect, but I kind of figured as such. But I said to him, God, Dad, do you believe in God? And he said, well, you're asking me if I think there's some dude up in the clouds. No, but I guess there's something. Guess I'll find out one day. So that was kind of, um, the extent of religious talk that I would get from him, And, with my mom, it was rosary beads and prayer. And not that she, forced that on us or anything as her children, but, it was there. I saw it and I could tell it was important to her. Whether or not she was embodying it was a different story, right? But really, it was my grandmother that, instilled a lot of, my beliefs. We prayed every night. This is not meant to be a religious video, by the way. I'm just sharing my experience here. But I'm gonna get through it quicker. I apologize. Anyhow, so, that's kind of where that came from. And as I got older, I questioned things more and more. Um, I ended up in a relationship, a marriage with someone who's Catholic as well. And so then I converted as an adult. And that was a long, challenging process, but I learned so much. I mean, I asked every question I could ask. I read the Bible multiple times. I studied religion. I studied I mean, I really just learned so much. And that's why I say that nothing is ever a waste. Now, do I hold all of those beliefs to this day? No, I do not. And I'm not here to side with any specific religion. I am not here to boost anyone or put anyone down. I am here to speak the truth. So, um, essentially, after going through all of that and getting baptized, etc., I realized that it wasn't for me, and that I was more spiritual. Um, I didn't fully understand what that meant at the time. It's been a long journey. But here I am. If you had told me years ago that I would be on YouTube reading tarot and identifying as a witch and as a spiritual being living a human experience, I probably would have thought you were on hard drugs. I'm just being real, okay? And look at me now, you know? So that's life, man. It's this journey, It's crazy. Anyhow, so anyone out there who's going through this, has been through this, I mean, if you know, you know, right? It's not easy. And I was always taught, fear evil, the darkness, the devil, the devil to get you, the devil is in this, money is evil. I was just taught all of these things, that aren't true. And of course, there's truth in a lot of these things, and some of them are wives' tales, and some are, whatever you want to label them to be, their words, right? But I know this message is going to be uncomfortable for some people, and sorry, not sorry. This is the channel that it is. So It's okay. Um, I'm not here to be safe. I'm here to be true, like I said. And you are safe here. But of course, by all means, if you don't feel that resonates, that is okay too. So I just kind of wanted to talk about that. I was really, really thinking about that, meditating on it, and felt called to really talk about it. Source wanted me to talk about it. Um, just just my experience with it and how I came to these realizations, and I learned, and how Source just really showed me what the truth is. And it was like I always kind of knew, but it was shocking at the same time, if you know, you know. Okay. So I had just so many questions going into this. And so I'm sure you can relate. But, you know, basically, I just, this is meant to help. So if you're confused, I want this to offer you clarity, um, or maybe encourage you to share your own journey. I don't know. So the devil, where do we begin? It's not a red demon with horns in the underworld. It's opposite of God and like some singular entity. I mean, it's just not. It's not how it is. What is that? I'm hearing that. What is it? That's not how it works. That's not how any of this works. That's what it is. That like meme thing that was going around. Anyway, so it's not a singular entity. It's a frequency of separation. Okay, and what I mean by that is by separation is cut off from love, disconnected from source, from higher self, from truth, from light. Okay, by choice. The devil is a decision. I'm going to say it again. The devil is a decision, not a dude in the fiery depths with a pitchfork and horns. Stop. My next point, I'm trying to keep myself on track because, you know, darkness is not necessarily evil. Okay. Darkness is sacred. Rest, rebirth, the womb, mystery. We're meant to honor, to hold space for it. It's a part of ourselves. And, you know, most of us are still learning to love that part of us, right? So, really, evil is a distortion, an illusion. It's, you know, darkness is the container. I hope, I hope you're following me here. I know. Okay. So, I guess this is more of a myth busting video. That's what it's turning into. But there's just so many out there, witches, women, the devil, demons, you know, just so many things. So let me clarify this. Witches, we were healers, midwives, herbalists, not the villains. Okay. The word witch was used to persecute women who didn't want to submit. Okay. We were burned not because we were evil, but because we were free. You might be seeing a pattern even in today's history, right? And this trauma got passed on, okay? And it made us fear our own power. I'm saying us because in a past life, I was also a witch, only in that life, I was burned. Okay, here I am. Anyhow, so the divine feminine was demonized. Okay. Think of Lilith, you know. And I want to talk more about this, but please feel free to do your own research as well. Um, or or meditate on it, or talk to source, God, spirit, whatever you believe in, whatever you need to do to get the answers that you need. Okay. Um, but if you're still here, you remember 'cause you were one of them, right? But we weren't burned because we were evil. We were burned because we were powerful and they were afraid. Think about history. That has been the case, right? I'm called to bring it up. Okay. Confirmation. Um, Here's a really controversial one, okay? People are not evil. People are not evil. You know, I've been known to be one to go around saying, I like animals better than people. Humans are blah, blah, blah. Ugh, right? Even before I knew, who I was and what I was capable of. I said those things. So I know it's heavy. Um, and we feel that way for a reason, right? But people aren't evil. Okay. People are wounded, disconnected, conditioned, programmed. Okay. Now, the things that they do, their behavior, it's not an excuse. It doesn't excuse it. It shows us the root cause. And if we know the root cause, if we know truth, then we can heal through truth, not shame, not other things, but through truth we can. I once, how can I say it? Just say it, source it. I'm not afraid of the devil. That's controversial because I know it's kind of divided. There's people that believe that if you don't believe it, then it can't exist. And there's people that believe not believing it is bad because it can kind of attract him. I'm not even sure if I'm communicating this correctly, but hopefully you understand what I'm saying. But I'm just, I'm not afraid. Okay? And I mean that because I remember, you know, and I've stared evil in the face, and I think once you've done that, you kind of just become fearless, right? Um, Once you've defeated so-called demons and things, I mean, I guess it hits differently, right? So, um, you can hold grief, shadow, even rage, and still be holy. I'm not sure if that's talked about enough. I don't think it is. But you're not here to be perfect. Okay. You're here to live the human experience. You're here to learn how to be whole, to learn how to go home. So, this message is for those who are waking up to who they truly are, Those who were told that they were too much, too loud, too wild, too weird, too crazy, too dangerous. You're divine. Maybe you are a little dangerous, but you're divine. And if you've ever been called a witch, take it as a compliment. I hope that helps someone.